Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from a ranked game of Teamfight Tactics early on in Set 7. I think that my account was mid-gold rating at the time. And in this game we're going to be seeing a Cannoneers based team composition, which is not one that I think I've featured before in one of the videos for Set 7. So it'll be a chance to look at some units that don't get played as much in some of the other team compositions and feature, as I said, some different units and some different traits. I have been going oftentimes for a sword on the starting carousel. Didn't get that here. A lot of other people also wanted to get a sword. I was able to fall back on getting this belt, which I think is also one of my other preferred starting items. I also like the belt start, and I don't mind the cloak start either. The belt start is nice because you can pair it with pretty much any other defensive item. 2 belts is Warmogs, a belt, and a vest is Sunfire, which is a good item. And a belt. The only one that doesn't pair as well with this cloak, because the two of them together create a Zephyr, which is not really an item you want in the early game, although it is good in the late game. So aside from, as long as I don't get another cloak here, I have a pretty nice start. Okay, so in these ranked games, I've generally been trying to play some kind of bruiser-based team composition. Bruisers are a bit overpowered in this particular patch version. I'm sure that they're going to get nerfed in the next upcoming patch, but sometimes you don't get bruisers. As you're seeing here, I have no bruisers here on my starting flop of champions, and the only one that I've seen so far is one Skarner, so I am going to pick that up, and then I'm going to make this Karma just because it makes a 2-star unit, so I'll go ahead and potentially play that. And if you're looking at what I've got here, I have the pieces to maybe play mages, but I don't really want to play mages because they're not that strong right now. They were very strong when Set 7 first came out, but they're not especially strong at the moment. So I don't really want to play them, but it's like I feel like I might almost get forced into playing them, which is something I don't want. And by the way, it looks like this is going to give me what? It gives me a Diana, and I get a second belt. So I was like, okay. Anytime you get Diana, you can potentially look to play into Olaf. By the way, I'm going to take Second Wind here. Second Wind is very nice early on. Or excuse me, not just early on, it's good throughout the game. And so now, out of what I've got, I could look to play the Diana. I decide, nope, I'm going to look to sell this, though. I'm not super comfortable playing the Diana and Olaf team comps. I also did not get an early Olaf here. I'll go ahead and make the Warmogs. And I actually have a pretty good opener here. I have 2 Bruisers for frontline with the Warmogs. That's going to synergize well with Second Wind. Second Wind is going to give a percentage of, what is it, after 10 seconds, units are going to get, I think, 75% of their missing health back. So having a Warmogs increasing overall health is going to synergize nicely with Second Wind. So I've got good frontline for this stage of the game. By the way, someone's already made Assassin Olaf, so I'm glad I did not look to try to play Olaf. That would have been contested in this lobby. The problem is I'm not sure what I'm going to play behind those Bruisers. I have a 2-star Heimerdinger and I have a 2-star Karma, which is nice, but neither of them have any of their traits in play, and neither one is really that much of a unit that's going to produce a lot of damage. I guess I could try to play mages. That's not really what I'm looking for here, though, so I guess that's one possibility, but I figure, you know what, I've got this beefy front line with Second Wind. There's the Second Wind kicking in, and then I've got a pair of 2-stars in the back line, so I'll play this for right now, and hopefully I can figure it out from there. I'm up against someone who is running Thrill of the Hunt, and you're seeing here kind of the weakness of Thrill of the Hunt as an augment. Thrill of the Hunt is a win more augment. If you're already winning the fights, it helps snowballs them into an even bigger advantage, but you need to get kills in order for that to happen. So oftentimes it doesn't really do much to swing a fight if you're like equal or if you're losing. That's why it's not one of my favorite augments. And in the data, it's not especially great either. Although, of course, sometimes there are close fights that it will swing and cause you to win them. But it's one of the augments that ever since it was first created, I have largely tried to avoid. Anyway, so I'm looking at other team compositions, trying to see what people are playing. I'm seeing some people are playing Astral. There's someone playing mages. I really don't want to play mages. There's, like, I think multiple people playing Astral and someone who's going heavy into mages. So it's like, I don't think mages are that strong to begin with right now in this patch version. Plus, on top of that, I would be contested. So I need to find something to play. As I said, my default has been to play Bruisers plus Swift Shots, Bruisers plus Varus. And that is still technically a possibility, but I have not seen like any Swift Shots at all. So like I could still play that. I've got the Bruisers for the frontline portion of it, but I don't have the backline portion of it because I've seen no Ezreals, no Twitches, no Ashes, and no Varuses or Zayas. Zaya is super popular in this particular patch. So, I mean, we'll see what pops up, but at least so far I am not seeing those units that I would potentially want to play. And now this is kind of interesting. Note that I see a Tristana here, and that actually does give me some more options. So my thinking is, you know what? If I play Trist, that would allow me to put Namzi in play. Putting Trist on my board is weaker than just playing the Karma. There's no question about that. The 1-star Trist is weaker. But this gives me the option to play into Cannoneer later on. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to look to do this, because if I sell the Karma and then sell the Sejuani, trying to sell these units here. There we go. Sell one. So now if I win this round, I can sell the Sejuani, and then that'll allow me to get to 10 gold, which is what I would like here. So as I said, this has downgraded my board, but it's put Trainer trait in play, which is one of the things that I want, because if I'm going to play into Cannoneers, I want to start stacking up Namzi early on. All right, so I don't think I've talked too much about the Trainer trait. This is the one that puts Namzi on the board. All of the sets that, all the recent sets of TFT have had some kind of trait whereby you get like an additional unit on the board if you play them, and that's what Trainer is in this set. By the way, this fight's pretty close, but it does not look as though this person managed to get through my front line. So we just barely managed to win that, thanks to the Warmogs and the second wind. All right, I'll get back to Trainer in a second. Let's see what I'm able to take off of this carousel. So I have a sword on my bench. So I can use the sword to make something, or I could always take another frontline item. There is a Varus here, so if I could get this Varus, I could look to go into Varus plus Bruisers. And that's, like I said, a comp that I've had a lot of success with. Now, obviously, no, I don't get that because that's not what this video is about. But it was a possibility. I would have taken that if it had been available. So out of these options, I already have double belts. I don't need another belt. I'm going to go ahead and take the glove, and then I'll just look to make an Infinity Edge with it. That's a nice versatile item that can be used on pretty much any AD carry. It does lock me out of going the mages route, which is somewhat unfortunate because I keep getting more mages here, but that was an option that I could have potentially played. And I believe that I actually take out the Trist here temporarily, because if I'm going to play this Vlad, I might as well also play the Nami, which is going to make mages and also put Astral Trait in play. But I want to be clear, I don't want to play into mages in this game. I don't think that mages are very good, and I don't really have the items to play it. I don't have any tears, and I don't have any rods. I could have taken a rod off that carousel, but I went for the glove. So since I've made Infinity Edge, that pretty much confirms I'm not playing into mages in this game. If I was going to do that, I would not have made that item. I mean, I guess I could make Infinity Edge plus Jeweled Gauntlet, but, you know, like I said, I have no rods right now and no tears, so that would be a very questionable decision. But I feel like, you know, if I'm going to play the Vlad, I really should play the Nami right now as well, because it's Astral and 3 Mage, so the Mages will cast twice. But I want to get Lulu back into the team, or not Lulu, I want to get Triss back in the team composition, because I'm really looking at this point to play into Cannoneer, plus Trainer, plus Revel, which is kind of what that build goes into. And you really want to play Trist and Heimerdinger early so you can stack up Namzi. And then here I finally get the opportunity to do so. I finally see another Cannoneer unit in the shop. So I'm going to go ahead to look to do this. I'm going to take out the Vlad. I'm actually going to just straight up sell because I want to get more gold here. And we're going to put the Trist and the the Senna in. And again, this downgrades my board in terms of strength, probably. But it's, like I said, I need to start stacking up Namzi via the Trainer trait. Okay, so as I've said, Trainer is a trait that puts Namzi on the board. And basically, if you run Trainer 2, it puts Namzi on the board. If you run Trainer 3, then Namzi's ability deals 100% more damage. The biggest advantage to playing Trainer 3 is that it stacks up Namzi faster in the fights. At the start of every, at the beginning of every round, if you had Trainer in play on the previous round, then your Trainer units will feed snacks to Namzi, and he will star up over time. This person is also, by the way, playing Namzi, but I basically flat out win this round just because of Second Wind. The fact that I have Second Wind and I have that Tom Kench with the Warmogs just basically wins that round on its own, because I'm able to get the huge health refill on Tom Kench. And this early in the game, there's just not that much damage. So we actually win streak all the way through Stage 2, which is just fantastic. That's what you want to see. All right, so there we go. The snacks getting fed to Namzi. He's currently getting 3 snacks each round, and yes, the minion rounds do count for this. He gets 1 snack for each trainer on the board, and then he gets another snack if a trainer is 2-starred. He actually gets 3 if they're 3-starred, but that doesn't happen very often. So 1 snack from Trist, 1 snack from Heimer, and then an extra snack because Heimer is 2-starred. So 3 per round. I would have liked to have had him in earlier, because like he could be getting a little bit closer to 2-star if I'd had him in earlier. So I did miss some rounds to have that in, but Heimer being 2-star is actually going to help a lot here. All right, so we get another sword. That's not bad. That confirms that we're going to be playing towards Corki. And then, oh, what's this? Oh, we're going to get an Idis drop. This is so good. So this is the high roll moment of the match. You can see my mouse cursor going crazy. When you play into this comp, the featured dragon is Idis. Idis is the treasure dragon, or not the treasure dragon, the shimmer scale dragon. And this is a unit you want to put on your board because it is going to give you a shimmer scale item. Unfortunately, I get what's probably the worst one for my setup, Goldmancer's Staff. It means you gain ability power based on how much gold you have, and killing units gives you a chance to drop gold. So I 100% need to play this dragon. This dragon's going to make me super tanky, but the downside is I did get a bad shimmer scale item out of the, I think there's like 6 different ones you could get. This was maybe the single worst one I could get, because this is the one that gives you additional damage based on ability power, and it also means that you have a chance to create gold if the person holding it kills a unit. So I have it on Heimerdinger right now, and Heimerdinger, this does mean that he's going to get a lot of ability power from it. The downside is Heimer rarely kills units, which is unfortunate, although it looks like he did kill one there and produce 2 gold. And that's because Heimerdinger's ability hits the highest health target on the other side. So yeah, he generally, you mostly play Heimer to stun people on the other team, but he rarely actually kills units because, as we said, he always hits the person with the highest percentage-based HP on the other team. But that said, he is getting like 40 ability power from holding that item, so that's not bad. All right, we have our second augment of the game. It is a silver augment. I am happy to go ahead and take the cybernetic uplink. That's going to be useful in general, and it means that anyone who holds an item is going to get a little extra health and also some extra mana regen. So at this point, I have a choice of playing either the I can play either the Tom Kench and the Skarner for Bruisers, or I can play the Senna for a ranking Cannoneer. I actually don't have Cannoneer in unless I play her. And I decide that because Senna is 2-starred, I will look to play her. Although and I feel like Idis probably gives me enough frontline for the time being. That's the hope anyway. Idis with the Warmogs will get a tremendous surge of health back from second wind. So I'm kind of leaning on that. And I really do need to get some tank items for Idis, like Gargoyle Stoneplate. I would love the double cloak item, the Dragon's Claw, because that would provide health regen, like health regen per second, which would just be amazing from having extra, having that extra health from Warmog. So that's what we're going to rely on for right now, and I would like to get Skarner back in on level up. So I'm playing this Cannoneers comp. I'm not really seeing a lot of Cannoneers thus far. I have hit a 2-star Senna. She's the 1-cost Cannoneer. And I have the Tristana, but I've seen 2 out of 3 Trists so far. Trist is holding items for a future Corki. She is usually a good one to hold them. Senna, if you hit her early on, also can be a pretty good holder of these items. So I thought I was going to win this round because Olaf was not targeting me, but oh, Olaf's got a Hurricane. Yep, he's got a Hurricane. So even though it looked like he was focusing on Idis, one of those bolts from the Hurricane procs flies backwards, takes out Heimer, who is about to kill the rest of the team. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but Heimer's ability does a ton of damage with that extra ability from the Goldmancer's Staff, but yeah, couldn't quite finish that off, so my win streak does come to an end, which is a bit unfortunate. I am planning to go to level 7 after this carousel round, but because the Goldmancer's Staff deals more damage based on how much gold I have in my bank, I may as well just sit here with more gold in my bank as opposed to dropping in XP and then level up all at once, because it actually means more damage for Heimerdinger if I have more gold in my bench. All right, I should talk briefly about what this trait does, because I haven't mentioned Cannoneer trait. This is back from set 5, or set 5.5, I think. I'll read the description. Every 5th attack fires a cannon shot that explodes for physical damage around the target. And it just goes up with more ranks in the trait. Right now it's 150% attack damage, 175% attack damage, 225, and then 275 at max rank. So it deals additional physical damage around the target. And so this is a trait that synergizes well with Corki. It's one of his 2 traits. Corki is Cannoneer plus Revel. So you generally want to stack heavy AD on Corki so that it will synergize with having that Cannoneer trait. So heavy AD is good on him. He doesn't need as much attack speed as some of the other AD units like Xayah, but it's not bad on him. It's just it's not quite as important. All right, so we have another Carousel Iron last pick because I've only lost one round throughout the game. I would have happily taken the Sona right there. I don't get the Sona, so my choice is between a Tear and a Vest. I will happily take the Vest out of those two options. We'll put it on Idis. We'll be able to make something decent out of that long term. Whether that, as I said, that's Gargoyle Stoneplate, whether that's Sunfire. I don't have much in the way of a healing debuff in my comp, so I really could use like a Sunfire. All right, so I'm going to level to 7. I will go ahead to play the Silas, and as much as I would like to get stronger, I think I'm just going to hold here for right now. And let's see how these rounds go, and we can decide if we feel like we need to roll more on 7 or look to go into, or if we can just like fast 8 and then roll down on 8. I'm feeling as though I was hitting really hard in some respects and not hitting in other respects. Getting the Idis to pop out at the end of stage 2 is an extreme high roll. It was the perfect dragon that I most wanted. I believe that the odds are like 1 or 2% for a dragon to pop out at the end of that round. And I not only had a dragon pop out, I also got the dragon that I most wanted, which was Idis. So that is really good luck. On the downside, I'm trying to play into like these Cannoneers plus Revels. I am not seeing those units at all. I've got the Senna, but aside from that, I have seen 2 Triss the entire game. I have seen no Jinxes throughout the game. I certainly have not seen a Corki or a Sona up to this point in time. So I'm not exactly seeing a whole lot in terms of the units I'm trying to play. And I really didn't see anything in terms of Swift Shots either earlier on in this game. There is finally a Jinx, so I wouldn't mind playing this unit. But what do I take out to play this unit? I mean, like, I'm not going to take out... I could take out the Tom, potentially. I can do this. Take out the Silas. That's maybe not that bad. And then I could try to move the Goldmancer Staff. I'm like, I guess I'll just put this on Triss, because Triss is more likely to actually kill things. She doesn't use AP particularly well. But this does at least put Revel Trait in play and puts another Cannoneer onto the board. So I think this is better for the time being. I'm not exactly sure. I am losing Bruiser Trait, but again, the hope is that I'm getting enough just by playing the Idis for right now. Idis, of course, does not have Guardian Trait in, so not getting the Guardian Shield, but I do have the Warmogs and I do have Second Wind, so that's kind of my hope, and I was feeling the lack of damage at this point in time. As I said, my team was fairly tanky, but I didn't really have much in the way of damage, so that was my hope, and that's why I made that replacement. And, I mean, Tidus is still tanking quite well. The problem is, this is a board that's running Nami, and Nami is hitting my back lines with her bouncing wave ability. She's not doing a lot of damage, but eventually she is able to chip down the back lines. I have no healing in my comp, and so I'm going to end up losing that round. And yeah, I did not feel like I was in a particularly strong place, so I decided, you know what? Let's go ahead. We need to. I think this is a roll on 7 game. I don't feel like I'm in a particularly strong position right now. My board is entirely 1 stars aside from Senna, who's a 1-cost unit. Not the greatest unit here. So the feeling was, I think I need to stabilize. If I try to go fast 8 and roll on 8, I think I'm going to take like 40 damage and be down on like 30 HP, and I do not think that that's a good idea. So let's roll 20 to 30 gold here, try to hit some 2 stars, try to stabilize and get stronger, and I think that that's my best path forward in this lobby right now, as I get a bow and as I get another Brambles. All right, so we see another Idis. That's big. If I can hit Idis 2-star, that'll spike me a lot. All right, anything else? A lot of Astral units here. Oh, there's Ornn. That's big. I can look to play Ornn and play him for a second Bruiser. And I'm going to make the Giant Slayer. I should pick up the other Ornn. Oh, I went by another Ornn. I could have had Ornn 2-star. Oh, how did I miss that? So I'm continue rolling, and oh, we get a big hit here. We see the Corki. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Corki. And then now I want to get the Lulu in as well, because I'm actually not running Cannoneer, or not running Trainer at the moment, so I'm not stacking up a Namzi. But I can put these items on Corki. I'm going to put the Goldmancer Staff on him as well. The intention is to take this off of him long term, but I'll run it for right now, because that way every time he kills something, he has a chance to get 2 gold to drop. I believe it's 50% odds for 2 gold to drop every time he kills something. And it's like, well, he just killed a bunch of things with his big missile. That was 6 gold just dropping right there. So, and Corki actually uses AP decently. It's not one of his key stats. He does deal physical damage with his missiles. This is a change from set 6, where he dealt magic damage. But he does deal some magic damage, so it's not a horrible stat on him. And it is going to produce a lot of gold. I think he made me 6 gold that round. So it's definitely worthwhile running that. All right, I don't love any of these options, but Cannoneer Crest is not terrible. It will get me an extra rank of Cannoneer, so it's basically just 1 free rank in Cannoneer. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. Now I need to take out the Senna. I don't need Senna, and now I need to play another unit to get the I need to get Namzi back in so I can stack that up again with Trainer. So the only unit that I can logically take... Oh, I guess I can just level to 8. I guess that was my plan. I figured I'd just level to 8, put this in. I could have also taken out the Heimerdinger as well. And then I ultimately decided to do that. I'll play the Trist. Trist is only a 1-star unit, but this will also maintain Trainer. And this gets me up to 4 Cannoneer. So Corki is going to hit quite hard right now. And now let's go to level 8. And hopefully we're stable enough to look to go to level 8. I am playing, again, almost entirely 1-star units. But I think that I've managed to stabilize my board. I have pretty much all the units I want to play in this team composition. I just need to upgrade them to 2 stars. But I think that I'll do better if I can get to level 8 and roll on 8. And I think I'm in a stable enough position to do that. Let's see how it goes, because I did lose the last 3 rounds in a row. So I need to start winning rounds, or else I'm going to be in some real trouble here. Because we're getting to the point in time in the game where you need to start having like a legitimate board. I will not be able to roll again until the end of this stage, because I pushed to 8 to get that extra unit in. I now need to stop and hold off here. All right, Corki, can you kill something else for me? This fight does seem to be going a little bit better. Come on, one more big missile. Can you kill something for me? All right, well, maybe he did, but it is only 50% chance to get the gold to drop. All right, Corki's 2 abilities are Cannoneer and Revel, so I will also mention what a Revel trait does. I'll go ahead and read the ability description. After dealing damage with an ability, launch a firecracker that deals magic damage to a random enemy. And the magic damage just goes up as you have more ranks in the skill. Right now it's 150, 175, 225, 275 as you get more ranks in Revel. So basically whenever you use an ability, launch a firecracker. And that is Corki's other trait. So he does do a mixture of physical and magic damage overall. Right now I was trying to think about which one of these 2 units to play. I do think that Jinx is in some ways better to play, because Jinx gives me Cannoneer and Revel ranks, but I need Tristan there to play Namzi. And you saw me find the Bard in the shop. I'm going to play this Bard. This is way too good of a unit not to play. Bard, of course, is the 5-cost guild unit. He's going to increase... His guild benefit is going to give mana on auto attack to everybody on the team. He also has that huge ult that's going to CC the whole board. And he's going to give me the increased shop odds over time. So I have to play this unit. Normally you would not find this unit at level 7, but having found this at 1% odds, I'm going to play it. There's also a Yasuo in the store, but this is actually a setup where I can't really use Yasuo. So normally you'd look to put Bard in at level 9 in this team composition, but I found him early, so I'm going to play him here at level 8. And I produced enough gold that I'm back to 40 gold. So as I said, I'm going to look to roll down to stabilize. I don't think I'm strong enough to go fast 9. I think I have too many 1-star units in here. By the way, I happily would have taken that Corki. I could have forced his last item as Bloodthirster or something. But no, Corki's not there, so we're not going to be able to get that. So now I'm trying to think about what I want my last item on Corki to be. And I was like, oh, you know what? There's a Soraka with a bow here that sells for 5 gold. We'll go ahead and take that, and then we can force a rod from the Treasure Dragon and put Rageblade on his last item, and that should be pretty good. Infinity Edge for just kind of the roll damage, Rageblade to ramp him up over the course of a fight, and then Giant Slayer for any 3-star units. All right, so I was going to wait until the end of the stage to roll, but I ended up getting enough gold that I thought I could just roll right here. So again, I'm looking to just 2-star more of these units. I really want another Idis. I think that would be big. I'm also finding Sonas, which is interesting. I find another Bard, and then I find the 2-star Corki. So with 2-star Corki, I think I'm stable enough to look to go to level 9. So I'm going to stop here. Again, I still do not have an upgraded front line, and that is a concern for this setup. But now I want to get to 9 so I can just play Sona. And that's going to be my last unit. And that's why I sell the Jinxes, because I'm not going to play Jinx. I guess if I got like a Tactician's Crown, I would play Jinx. But that seems unlikely at this stage of the game. So Sona's the next unit I want in. Sona's going to make Evoker trait with Lulu. She's going to give me another rank of Revel, and her crowd control is just outstanding. She's going to put that big ult on the board that's going to CC everything that gets hit by it. I think it's like a 1.5 second stun. All right, so this fight's close, but Idis, I just need him to tank a little bit longer. Note that Corki throws his missile at nothing. Hopefully this is a bug that they're going to fix in the next patch, but we've still got it. We still got it. It's kind of the biggest reason why people are not playing Corki that much right now. He's not that popular. Cannoneer trait in general is not super popular right now. And that's kind of the biggest reason why, is he often fires these missiles, and whatever he was shooting at like dies while the missile's in the midair, and then he just hits nothing, and the missile just flies right through. So it actually reduces he actually loses a huge amount of his damage when that happens. But, you know, it's this is kind of an uncontested comp oftentimes. I mean, people play it occasionally, but the data does not have it performing especially well. But like the advantage is not a lot of people are playing it. Instead, you see a ton of people playing Xayah right now. This person's playing a Varus plus Bruiser setup right here. So you see a ton of people looking to play the Xayah. You see a lot of people playing the reroll Ezreal build. That's been popular in this patch. There goes the missile again, hitting nothing. So, I mean, if that missile had actually hit and dealt damage, I think we win this fight. Look how close it is. Pretty sure we win this if Corki's missile actually hits its target, but nope, it just flies right through. So instead of doing like 1,000 damage, it just does 0 damage. I've actually heard that there's a bug with this. I mean, obviously the fact that it just flies through and hits nothing is a bug, but I've heard that it can actually fly through and hit someone else's board. Because for those who don't know, the way this is coded is all of the boards are like on the same playing field. Yeah. So I've heard that that can actually happen, although I don't know that I've seen it myself. Okay, anyway, so I'm looking at the treasure chest and I'm like, no, I'm trying to think, but I really want a rod so I can force a Rage Blade. And then I see this, I was like, this will work, this will work. This is a Rage Blade, and then this is also a Chalice, which will be quite nice. We can go ahead and look to make that Chalice. So let's go ahead and get that. I'm going to get the Goldmancer staff off of Corki. Now let's go ahead and so we're going to put the Rage Blade on him. So he's no longer going to be printing as much money as he was before, but he will deal more damage. Going to put the Chalice on Bard. And then I've got this Bloodthirster, so what do I do with this? Well, I'm going to go ahead and put it on Idis. And this might seem like a weird thing, but remember, when Idis hits 40% health, Idis will gain a 25% maximum health shield. And that's a big deal. That's like effectively giving this unit 25% more HP. Does also give Idis some Omnivamp. So it's like kind of a weird choice, but it actually does make the unit quite a bit tankier. And now I'm just going to look to push to level 9 as quickly as possible because I think getting Sona in my comp makes it a lot stronger. It's going to, as I said, it's going to give me another rank of the Revel trait, and it's going to give me Evoker, and she's going to provide a lot more crowd control. So that's kind of what this comp plays into long term. Corki is the main damage dealer. He's kind of the only damage dealer. It's kind of a one-threat comp. But you play Idis for frontline, and then you also have the Ornn for crowd control, plus Bard for crowd control, plus the Sona for crowd control, and then I guess Lulu chips in some as well. I probably should also be picking up Lulu's because there's a decent chance to 3-star Lulu with this setup, especially with Bard ulting and giving me the better shop odds. I actually have very good odds to hit a lot of 3 costs in this comp over time. Unfortunately for this round, I'm hitting this Assassin comp. By the way, the Corki's big missile actually hit its target and did a ton of damage. Look how close this is. But yes, Assassin Olaf is actually going to beat me, and that comp looks extremely strong. Assassin Olaf with Infinity Edge and Hurricane. Remember the previous time that person beat me, the Hurricane hit the Heimer in the corner? Yep, it's that same person. They've had Assassin Olaf from the beginning of Stage 2, and that's just a very dangerous comp to deal with. So I'm not holding extra units because I'm just trying to get to level 9 as quickly as possible. I'm not at all confident that I can win this lobby, so I'm honestly trying to play for like a 2nd or 3rd place finish. So I'm taking actions that are designed to maximize getting like a 2nd or 3rd. And so I'm like somewhat lowering the odds that I'm going to win the lobby while increasing the odds that I'm going to get, as I said, like a 2nd or 3rd place finish. Because this is a ranked game. I'm trying to play for the higher LP. And you know me, I tend to play very conservatively in anything that's like risk-based. All right, we're up against another person who's playing Assassins. And the good news is the Assassins were hitting the other side of the board. By the way, that's a fantastic Bard ultimate. The bad news is this Talon is on top of me. Second win. The second win's going to bring Olaf back to life. But can he survive this? Well, he's on very low health. Remember, I do not have healing in my comp aside from second win. I'm really relying on the second win to heal me. And come up a little bit short. So, yep, not quite able to beat that person who's running the Xayah comp. But it was very, very close. And as I said, I am trying to get to 9, so I have lost the last 3 rounds in a row. I don't want to continue tanking losses, so I'm going to go to 9. And now note that I do not have enough gold to roll on 9. As I said, this is me trying to maximize odds of like a 3rd place finish or whatever here. So I'm just going to go straight to 9. I have the unit I want to play. I already have the Sona. So this is just so I can get that extra unit on the board and look to play it here. So as I said, this definitely makes my comp stronger. Look at all the traits I have in Bard, Dragon, Cannoneer, Revel, Shimmer Scale, Bruiser, Mystic, Trainer, Evoker, Guild. So my board's pretty good. Now, if I can actually just upgrade all these units to 2-star status there's a lot of 1-stars on my board right now. I have 2 out of 3 Ornns after I stupidly missed an Ornn in the shop. I had 2 out of 3 Idises, 2 out of 3 Sonas, 2 out of 3 Bards. Like, this is an awful lot of units. that are 2-starred. And oh, that second win. Second win doing a lot of work for my comp in these fights. I would have, as Corki misses another missile, I would have itemized some lifesteal on Corki if I didn't have second win. But as I've said, I'm relying on that to keep him alive if he takes some chip damage early on in the fights. And hey, well, we beat somebody. Someone just got knocked out in 7th place. So we're hanging in there on 42 HP. All right, so I am last pick on the carousel again. There's some good stuff here. The Gargoyle Stoneplate would be fantastic for Idas. I already have a Bramble Vest, so I don't need that. There's no... Frozen Heart's not really going to help me here. Out of these items, the one thing I'm definitely going to take is the Shroud of Stillness. That's going to be fantastic. It's even on a 5 gold Zoe. So those late game Shrouds, you really, really love getting a late game Shroud off a carousel because now I can use this to hit other teams. Anytime anyone else clumps up, I'll be able to hit them with the Shroud. And there's one other benefit to this as well. As I get a humongous hit here, I hit the Idas and the Sona, so I'll go ahead and lock for the Sona. If I would go ahead and get a gold drop from the Goldmancer staff, I might be able to get the Sona without having to lock, but we'll see. I'm not expecting Triss to kill a whole lot here. The one other thing is, remember, I do have that cybernetic uplink in play. So by putting this on the Ornn, I also get increased mana generation on Ornn as well. So I'm mostly trying to position for Assassins. I think these are the most dangerous comps. You'll notice my Shroud basically misses here because I'm not positioning for this comp at all. But I'm not that scared about this comp. This comp's playing through a 2-star Swain, and honestly, even though that Swain does have good items, at this stage of the game, Swain does not really carry that hard. He either has to be 3-starred, or you have to have like Dragonmancer 9 in or something like that. Just does not carry that hard. So even though we're not positioned for this board, we're going to win pretty easily. So the only downside here is we did not get a Goldmancer staff proc, so we did have to lock for the Sona, but I do not feel bad about doing that. And then there's no reason to refresh the shop here, because even if I see one of these units, like even if I see a Bard, I won't have enough gold to buy it, so there's no reason to refresh. We'll just roll down again after the upcoming minion round. So again, continuing to position for Assassins, those are the comps that I believe are the scariest in the lobby. And I'm just going to clump up and hope that that works out here while trying to position the Shroud so it hits some of the Assassins on these other boards. I have no idea if I can actually beat some of these Assassin team compositions. Oh, by the way, that person just hit 3-star Swain, so I'm glad we hit them on the last round. So I have no idea if I can beat these Assassin boards, but I have to position for them. Like, once again, we are not positioned properly for this board. It's a ghost round against this Saya player. But I'm not that scared of this particular board. I think I match up reasonably well with this. By the way, second win, again, just insane value in these fights. We just need to finish cutting through this Talon. He was getting some Thrill of the Hunt procs, but remember, Thrill of the Hunt, it's a win more augment. It does not do that much in a close fight. So even though Corki once again throws a missile at nothing, instead of hitting the Zaya, we're able to win that fight and survive. And hey, there's Ornn 2-star. So now we've managed to 2-star most of the board. And we're going to get another useful item. We're going to get, what is this, a Zeke's here. That's fantastic. Now I can put the Zeke's on Sona. Sona can provide the aura benefit to Corki. And I'll also get cybernetic uplinks value on Sona. That's the whole reason why the Goldmancer staff is on the Trist, is largely just so Trist gets an item for cybernetic uplink value. Trist is really in here just as a trait bot so that I can continue to maintain Namzi. By the way, Namzi, up to 3 stars now, getting closer to 4 stars, which is the highest rank you can get Namzi, although Namzi will continue to scale upwards even after that. I also get a Lulu here. I probably should just hold the Lulu and look to try to hit Lulu 3-star. It's like, well, there we go. We just 2-starred our entire board, everything except Tom Kench, which frankly is not likely to have happened, but he's in there as a synergy bot for Revel trait and also for Bruiser trait. So yeah, not likely to 2-star him. But at this point, I'm just going to focus on positioning. I decided, you know what, I'm not going to worry about rolling here. Remember, I do get additional value from the Goldmancer staff by having more gold in my bank. So I don't hate having just additional gold in my bank. And I'm mostly going to focus on positioning because I've 2-starred my entire team. All right, this person has Assassin Olaf. Remember, this is the person we've seen a couple times now. They have not managed to 3-star Olaf, so I think we're stronger than this person right now. The bad news is they have 8 Olafs on their bench. So I was like, ooh, that's looking kind of scary. So I should hold any Olafs I might happen to see in the shop. But it's going to be hard to stop that person from hitting 3-star Olaf if they're already on 8 of them. The biggest thing that's been holding this person back is there's 2 people playing Olaf in the lobby, this person and another one. But this person, Sam Winchester's the more dangerous because the other person does not have Assassin Olaf. That's the other person. I'm actually scheduled to hit the other Olaf person right now, Johnny Nichols. So once again, I don't want this person to have... Yeah, they have an Olaf, but they don't have Assassin Olaf. That is the comp that's been the strongest in this patch version in the data. Has been Assassin Olaf plus Assassin Diana. This person has 8 Dianas, though, so they can potentially get 3-star Diana. They're just playing through 4 Assassins. But yeah, they do not have Assassin Olaf, which is what really makes that comp pop off. And oh, look at that. Sam Winchester, that's the 3-star Olaf. That's going to be trouble. I'm very glad I just hit that person on the last round, because that means it'll hopefully be a round or two before it rotates back to me and I'll see that person again. One thing that is really good against these Assassins, I have a Bramble Vest on Idas. That's really good against these Assassins, because remember, Assassin's all about critical strike chance. What does Bramble Vest do? Protects you from crits. So yeah, that is going to have a lot of value. I did not build that item specifically to deal with Assassins, but it's going to be very handy. Oh, Corki almost manages to win that round. Does not win. So now it's up to my tanks. It's like, can my tanks win this round? Can like tank Idas and tank Ornn and Namzi cut through what remains on the other team? It's a tank versus tank battle, but it looks like I've got this one. Yeah, Idas, the Bramble Vest, does a lot of work in that fight. Not quite able to eliminate that player, but at least we get them down to 2 HP. So, oh, but this is the problem. Yeah, I've cycled back around to that Olaf 3 player, and ooh, that's going to be a problem. So I don't know what I'm going to do about this unit. I'm just going to clump up in the corner and do my best positioning-wise to deal with this unit. I'm going to try to get that Shroud pointed at anyone who wants to dive on top of my units, but oof, that Olaf is really scary. I mean, like, really, really scary. They actually do something I'm not expecting. They actually shift a lot of their units over to the left-hand side, which I was not anticipating them doing. So Olaf's going to be way over there on the left-hand side. I don't know if that's the best decision. Here's something that's super annoying for me, though. Look at that Bard. This person has 1 Bard, and that Bard is just going to wreck my team because I have to clump up. I have to. I have no choice. If I don't clump up against these Assassins, it's going to be a disaster. The Assassins will just dive on my backline carries and kill them. So I have to clump. But by clumping, I put myself at risk of dying to... I cause my carries to all get CC'd by Bard. So, oof. Yeah, there's not really a good way out of that situation. There's not really a whole lot I can do. So I'm looking here, and I'm like, what's going to help me the most? Well, there is a Trap Claw, and maybe I should have grabbed the Trap Claw. I end up grabbing the Revel emblem instead. And that person's going to grab Warmogs. I wonder if the Trap Claw would have been better value, because that would have protected me from getting hit by Bard's ultimate over there in the corner. In any case, though, what I was thinking with this was, you know what? I need to deal more damage. So this was my thought process. I was like, I need to deal more damage because these Assassins are going to kill me. I cannot win a long, drawn-out fight, or it's very difficult to win a long, drawn-out fight. I've got to increase my damage output. And one of the ways I can do that is by getting a higher rank of Revel. So that way, Sona will deal more damage, Corki will deal more damage. You get the idea. So that's what I'm thinking here. And I'm actually going to shift over here to the left-hand side to try to shroud them because they're jumping on the left. But then, oh, I get thrown for a loop. No, Olaf is now shifted back to the right, or the center of the board. And that's not quite where I want him to be. By the way, as you see that Bard, once again, doing all kinds of nasty stuff to my team. And Olaf, ooh, this is not where I want that Olaf to be. Olaf, I want you to get stuck on the tanks. I mean, it's close. Look how low the Olaf gets. We almost killed him. So I was like, you know, I'm losing these rounds, but it is close. I feel like if I get maybe a little bit better fight RNG, I can still have a shot to win this. I just need the Olaf to get stuck on Idas. That's the single biggest thing that I need here. So I'm just going to continue shuffling positioning. The big issue there was I moved over to the left-hand side, and they threw me for a loop by having Olaf jump back to the right. So I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to keep my Shroud pointed right here. If you want to jump on top of Corki, you're going to have to get Shrouded. And I'm going to keep Idas over here as well. Let's see you have to cut through my entire team to get on top of Corki. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to at least make the chance. It's like, yeah, you go ahead. You know what? If you want to jump to the left-hand side, fine. Go ahead and jump on the left-hand side. I'm going to make you cut through my entire team to get over to the Olaf. And yeah, you see, once again, kind of does this fake-out move. But Olaf, I'm thinking, is going to get stuck on Namzi and get stuck on Idas here. And that's my hope. And that is, in fact, going to be what happens. If you look at Olaf, he is hitting, I think he's hitting the Namzi. My second wing's going to prop. And oh, there we go. Okay, Olaf's down. Olaf's down. Come on, Corki. Let's finish this off. Now can we get the Talon? Yes, we can. And oh, it's not quite enough damage to win. But all right. All right, let's do this. So now we're going to be down to just the two of us here. And what and look at the item I get. It's a Trap Claw. Yes, it's a Trap Claw. That's exactly what I want. But oh no, this person's got a Zephyr. Oh, that's not what I want. So I get an amazing item. The Trap Claw can block that Bard ult from hitting my team. But they're going to get a Zephyr. They can now drop in Zephyr me. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not what I want at all. Oh, why couldn't they have gotten a different item? I mean, okay, they could have gotten a Shroud, and that would have been even worse. But, oh, drop in Zephyr for the last round of the game. Remember, I have to clump up against this person. I have no choice. I have to clump. Otherwise, my carries just die. And that means that this person can very easily target the Corki and just take them out of the fight for this last round. All right, so I do decide to do something else. I'm going to move the Goldmancer Staff. I don't care about getting the cybernetics value. I'm going to put it on Ornn because Ornn, it actually does increase the damage done by Ornn ult quite a bit. And it also makes him a little bit tankier as well. Or actually, no, it doesn't make him tankier. What am I saying? So let's continue positioning here. Again, I'm going to have to clump up in the corner. Let's just hope we can get fight RNG like the last round. And I'm going to have to swap at the last second so I don't get shrouded or Zephyred. But oh no, there's a Kiana that can hit my Corki. Oh no. But wait a minute. Oh, he decides to Zephyr the Idis instead. Okay. That could be worse. Note the Trap Claw blocks the Bard ultimate. This is a close fight. But look, oh, the Olaf got caught on Idis anyway. I think that was a mistake. I think that person should have used the Zephyr on my Corki. Really think that was a mistake. Go, Sona. Sona's got the CC. Idis, can you survive another 2 seconds? It's so close. Ah, we got him. We got him. What a close game that was. I really think it was a mistake not using the Zephyr on my Corki. Corki was all of my damage. If you go back and look at the damage chart from that last fight, Corki did 11,000 damage. No one else did more than 2,000, or they did like 2,500. So they could have drop in Zephyred the Corki. I really thought that they were going to. I don't think it was necessarily the worst decision to hit Idis, but Olaf just got stuck on Idis anyway, and maybe that's bad fight RNG for them. But still, like if Corki's out of that fight for, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, I 100% lose that fight. So I think that was a mistake on their part, and man, that was a close game, but I'll take it. Promoted to Gold 2. All right, well, this was a great game. I enjoyed this one. Hope you had fun watching this one as well. So until next time, hope you guys are having a good week, and take care.